Call us at 877-937-1047. Text us. Text JJR. Whatever you want to say to the number 96893. I was in Atlanta, in ATL, a couple days ago. And a lot of stuff happened. But one of the stories I want to tell you about is going through security check, TSA. And I had a carry-on bag and I had a backpack full of stuff. And I'm kind of going through this. I haven't really explored it or said that much about it on the air, but I'm really liking to make my own trail mix. Right?
Okay.
Right? And I like to make my own trail mix with whatever we have in the house. I haven't gone to just go to Sprouts, my wife. Go to Sprouts and take all. No, I want to do it like whatever is in the house kind of deal.
Well, what would that be?
Just like cashews and then almonds and pistachios and maybe some raisins. Just whatever's in there. I usually put it in one of those plastic bags. It's like a gallon. It's huge, and I put it in my backpack, and that's what I snack on the plane. And so I was going through security, and I got buzzed. They do that thing where they go, whose bag is this? I was like, that's mine. And the guy goes, we're going to have to rescan your nuts, and we're going to have to rescan your bag. And all by myself, I was like, rescan my nuts, rescan my bag. Hilarious. And the guy just looks at me.
Did you say it out loud?
He said it out loud.
No, did you say it out loud?
Yeah, I said it out loud because the way he said it was so much like, that's what she said. You know what I mean? Like it was so out loud. But anyway, and then I went to Atlanta. So I landed in Atlanta, and I was going to this event at this guy's house, and it was an hour and a half drive out of Atlanta in a little town called Rome, Georgia.
Never heard of.
It's the kind of town where Jack Reacher would fight the police, right? It's a small town. And I was there by myself, and I was staying at this Holiday Inn, which was in the middle of nowhere. Like, it looked like serial killers. It looked like the Long Island Gone Girls Express, like where all the bushes were in the marsh.
Yeah.
It was just like I was in the middle of nowhere. And I called my wife, and I was like, this is like kind of scary. I go, but it's like 8 o'clock at night, and I haven't eaten yet. And it's 3 hours ahead, right? So I'm driving to look for a place to eat. And there's an Outback Steakhouse to my left. And I've been to Outback 100 times. I love Outback. And I'm going to go there. And I look to my right, and there's a Texas Roadhouse. And I'm like, I've never been there. Let me just experience that. Maybe something new will happen. And I've never been to Texas Roadhouse. And I walk in, and the lady goes, how many in your party? And I go, it's just me. She goes, okay. And then she goes, would you like to pick out a steak? And I was like, what? She goes, you just pick out one. And there's a window with a whole bunch of ribeyes and New York strips, whatever. And I go, what do you mean pick out a steak? Pick out a steak, and we'll cook it for you. And I'm like, is this normal? I was like, yeah, I'll take this one. And she gives me this little ticket, right? She gives me a little ticket. She goes, give this to your server, and it'll match your steak, and you get your steak. So I sat down, and I gave the server my ticket, and then she brought me out the steak, and it was freaking fantastic. And I took pictures, and I had the bread and the sides, and I was like, this is great. I got to go back here. And I text my wife, call my wife, I go, do we have these in our town?
Everywhere.
And she's like, yeah. So when I got back to the mainland of Arizona, first thing I said is, we got to go to Texas Roadhouse. So I tell my wife and my kids, we got to get in the car and we go to Texas Roadhouse. And I'm like, watch, when you walk in, they take you to the window and have you pick out a steak. So I walk in, and I got all nervous, and I went online, and I made a pre-reservation. You get in line to get the table. You know what I mean? I get there, and there's no problem. There's no whatever. So I get it. As soon as we walk in, they walk us past the window steak to our booth. And I'm like, hey. I go, aren't you going to ask me to pick out a steak? She goes, oh, if you want to. I'm like, what do you mean if I want to? I go, I was at the one in Georgia, and they made a big deal about me picking out the steak. They're like, oh, do you want to do that? Well, I'm already sitting down. Forget it.
No.
The presentation was totally different.
Totally different, man. But it was still delicious. It was fantastic.
I know. I read something today. Texas Roadhouse replaced Olive Garden as America's top fast casual restaurant.
It's my favorite restaurant.
Casual dining.
I wanted to go back there last night. My wife didn't want to go back.
Oh, yeah, the bread there is amazing.
There's always a line, right?
There wasn't.
I feel like there's always a line at Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
I've been to Texas Roadhouse a million times. They've never asked me if I wanted a steak.
You got to go to the one in Georgia then.
I guess so.
They have them all sitting there in a window, right?
You just have to ask, maybe?
I don't know. I've only been twice. And the first time they gave me a ticket and had me pick out what steak I wanted.
What's the steak that you got that was amazing?
I got the biggest one they had. The one they had there was a 22-ounce ribeye. I got that one. The one here, they only had a 16-ounce.
Oh, Georgia's got it down.
How dare you.
Georgia's Texas Roadhouse. Imagine what it would be like in Texas.
So then, by the way, and I was texting with Nick, our producer, about this because Nick's wife works for Cochlear. Is that how you say it? Cochlear? The implants, hearing implants.
Yeah.
And remember, Lou Frigno was in here, and he's a spokesperson for it. So I get on the plane to fly back from Atlanta here, and there's 2 seats. I got my seat, and I'm all excited because it's not Southwest, so that means I don't have to stress. I have a seat, right? So when I get on the plane to get to my seat, there's a woman there, and she's sitting next to me, and she has a humongous German Shepherd with her, humongous, and it says "Do not pet." Right? I'm like, oh man, like it's one of those therapy dogs.
It's almost like so irresistible. Like, how do you not pet the dog?
Right, and it's just her and I. There's just 2 seats, her and I. Her German Shepherd is taking up like where my feet go, right? And so I'm kind of like, okay, I love pup, I get it, I love dogs and stuff, but shouldn't it be a smaller dog?
Probably.
Should you be sitting somewhere else? And then she gets up and she says, I can hear her voice's little different accent, kind of. I can't place it just yet. And she goes, is it better for you if you sit on the aisle? And I'm like, well, no, I want a window because I want to sleep. And then she goes, huh? It turns out she points to her ears and she has the cochlear implant. She goes, I'm deaf. She says, I'm deaf with the deaf accent, kind of, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, I'm just going to chill out. So I sit down. The dog is at my feet. She starts to open up a book and read her book on it's Hitler. The Mein
Kampf.
Yeah, whatever, right? And I'm like, this is so weird.
Yeah, it's a little...
Right? Like, do you read that in public? I don't know, right? It's a big book with hits.
What is it about? Is it like a...
It's like his manifesto.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
Odd.
So she's deaf. Her dog is taking the place where my feet go, and she's reading this thick book on Hitler. Then she puts the book down, opens up Facebook, and I'm trying to lean back, trying to read what she starts posting. She's frantically posting something on Facebook about our government. And I'm like, so I'm taking pictures. I'm sending it to Nick. I go, what the hell's going on here, man?
That's weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And then because the dog's at my feet, it's a 3.5-hour flight. I have no room, so I put my seat back a little. I have to. Then the lady behind me starts punching my seat.
Oh,
and I'm like, I would only move my seat back because the dog is taking my space. It was
you would have been better off on Southwest.
It was so frustrating.
Right?
It was so frustrating.
You could have gotten yourself an
I
exit
wanted to complain. It was on Delta. I wanted to complain to Delta, but then I was like, I felt bad. This woman, she's deaf.
Right.
She's
Needs a dog.
Everywhere she goes, she needs a dog.
Yeah.
But damn, man, I don't know what the dog. I mean, it's not like the dog can talk to her.
It's like, he said he's going to take the window. The dog's not going to say that. I had him. He said he's taking the window.
It was a weird experience, man. But let me tell you guys.
Did you have a life-changing experience in Atlanta? Because you haven't really talked about what you were doing there.
Oh, yeah. So I got invited to go to this thing from this guy. His name is Jesse Itzler. You guys ever heard of him? His wife is the one that invented Spanx.
Okay.
You ever heard of Spanx?
Yeah, of course.
And he invented Zico coconut water, and he invented Marquis Jets, and he's a huge motivational speaker, and he speaks all over, and he's great. And him and I have been DMing each other for about 8 or 9 years, and he had this event that had to do with... it was just sauna and cold plunge. That's all it was.
Oh, that's right up your alley.
Sauna and cold plunge all
You
day.
could have posted
and
that.
it was at his house. And it was like great. And I went, and there was about probably under 30 people. They said 30, but I think it was less than 30 people. And it was all these young entrepreneurs and all these business people that all own, amazing things. And from pre-workout, to electrolyte companies to hotels to all this stuff.
Right up your alley.
It was funny because I was there for the sauna.
Yeah.
They were there to pick his brain because there were many
networking.
Yeah, it was a lot of networking because there were many moments where he would just sit down and talk to you about his life. Like he tells the story of when his wife got wired the $1.2 billion when she sold her company.
Ooh,
like
that's insane.
What that was like to see the wire. Bing. Like if you watch White Lotus season finale last night, the girl at the end, she gets $5 million. I don't know if I ruined anything, but
Spoiler alert.
You're watching her go to her bank account to refresh, and she got $5 million. They did that. It got $1.2 billion.
Wow.
Right?
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It was a crazy, but it was pretty much priceless. I love spending time with the guy. Now he's coming here. I'm gonna meet him for a smoothie before he speaks here.
Right on.
Yeah,
we should have him on a podcast.
Yeah, oh, that's happening.
Okay.
I already confirmed that too.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, because I had nothing else. Everyone else was like trying to pitch in products and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when it was my turn to get I had so much anxiety. Okay, everyone get up and tell you about yourself.
Oh, that had to kill you.
And this is what I was trying to tell you guys last week. I signed up for something I normally wouldn't do.
Right.
Like my wife was very excited that I stepped out of my zone, my comfort zone to go do this event. And I only did it because I was on no sleep when I agreed to it. Right? Like I can't tell you how many times I tried to cancel before I went to this event. But I'm really glad I did.
That's good.
Yeah. What's coming up? 3 things you need to know, Kyle.
TikTok hasn't sold to a U.S. buyer yet, but over the weekend you may have noticed your TikTok was still working and it wasn't banned. That's because President Trump extended the deadline for them to do that once again, saying a potential deal to avert the ban just requires more work. There's a bunch of buyers obviously interested in striking a deal like Amazon, Oracle, AppLovin, and Blackstone. They all want in. But the Chinese government also has to approve the deal before it can go ahead. So the plan is in motion. And we still get to have our fun TikToks in the meantime. The most storied program in women's college basketball, UConn, won its 12th national championship yesterday, dethroning South Carolina 82-59. When it comes to the men's championship, the Final Four is down to the Final Two. The Florida Gators will take on the Houston Cougars in the men's final tonight.
Can I tell you something about that? One of the ties of the Florida Gators. Do you guys know anything about this story with the coach?
Mm-mm.
He played basketball at Sunny Slope.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. That's
He's
cool.
from here.
That's pretty cool.
He's from here. Then he went to San Francisco. And now he's the head coach of the It's freaking amazing. I love those kind of stories.
Me too.
You know, so he's like 30 or something like that.
Wow. I'm going to root for them. I didn't really have a dog in the fight, but now I'm like,
Right.
go Gators.
I know.
I cried when I watched the women's championship yesterday. Though.
Aw,
Like a
that's-
little baby because it just
Bring you back to your college
it really
basketball
did.
days.
And it just made me so mad. I wish I worked harder in high school or in college. I'm like, dang, that could have been me.
Let that be a lesson to any high schoolers or
Yes.
college ballers listening. Now, if your friend brings you coffee or paid for your dinner, you want to send them some money on the Zelle app, you're kind of out of luck. Person-to-person money transfers are no longer available through Zelle, their standalone mobile app.
That's weird.
You can now access the service through your own bank's website. It's still the Zelle service, but you have to go through your bank's mobile app. I know it's kind of weird, but
is.
apparently Zelle always had the idea to go through banks' apps and whatnot, but they created the app as a backup in case the banks didn't buy into the service.
Nice.
And most banks have bought into the service. Mine hasn't, but
Oh, really? I'm like, Zelle is the best.
Yeah.
When you said that, I was worried that Zelle was going to be gone forever.
yeah, if your bank is in on Zelle, you should still be fine. You'll just do the same thing through your own bank's mobile app. So I know a lot of people had freaked out over that, but yeah, don't worry. If you're there, you're good. And that's 3 things you need to know.
Let's get to Peyton's predictions. Peyton, what's the vibe today?
I'm going to be talking to you about what your late night thoughts are based on your zodiac sign.
Abby, good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on?
I'm
What's
an
your sign?
Aquarius.
Okay, Abby, so when it comes to you and your late night thoughts, Aquarius, you're inventing a new app in your mind, you're questioning the simulation, and suddenly you're crying about the state of the world. Your thoughts are quirky, brilliant, and slightly unhinged in the best way. So when you're in those late night thoughts, you're not sleeping, you're unlocking new levels of existence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, my little weirdos are my Aquariuses for sure.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Abby. What's up, Mike?
Good morning. Rolling with you, John J. Virgos.
All right, Virgos. Virgo, your late night thoughts are basically a productivity boot camp. You're just organizing your thoughts. You're planning your day down to the minute, and you're critiquing past decisions like it's Yelp. You want sleep, but your brain wants bullet points and perfection, and you give overachiever energy when you can't sleep.
Guess it again. Peyton.
Hey.
Guess it again.
That's what I do.
Have a blessed day.
Thanks, Mike.
Hi.
How about Libras?
Yeah, Kyle, my Libra. When it comes to late nights, it's 2 a.m. and you're still mentally trying to respond to that one text. You're out here rethinking an outfit that you didn't even wear, planning your dream wedding, and wondering if you should change your entire vibe. It's indecision, but make it fashion for my Libras when you're up late at night.
Your mind does wander.
Yeah, all over the place.
Well, then what am I going to wear tomorrow?
I feel that.
How about for Pisces?
Pisces, Richie is my Pisces. You are fully immersed in fantasy. You've imagined 3 alternative universes, written a love story in your head, and now you're vibing to this sad playlist like you're in an A24 film. You escape reality harder than any of the other signs when it comes to your late night thoughts.
I wish I was that deep. I definitely think about songs, though.
Okay.
To the point where I go, I got to turn off the radio. Like, oh, it's not on.
Okay.
That's how deep I get into the song.
Dang.
Good morning, Harper. What's your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
All right, Harper, when you're up late at night, your brain just goes into detective mode. So you're deep diving through emotional things, you're plotting revenge, or maybe low-key stalking someone on Instagram or something. So you might be spiraling or healing or both. You're intense, mysterious, and probably the reason someone else can't sleep at night.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Reggie.
Hey, John J.
What's your sign, Reggie?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. So when it comes to your late night thoughts, you are just Googling flights to Bali, deciding to quit your job, and then mentally planning a van life road trip all before 3 a.m. Your brain doesn't rest. It just roams. Your thoughts are a highlight reel of wild dreams, deep conversations, and random philosophical tangents.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot lately.
Yeah.
I've been trying to go to bed.
That's the worst when you're just trying to sleep and your brain just keeps on going, doesn't turn off.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Reggie. How about for Leos?
Leos, when we're up late at night, we're laying in bed like it's our own personal stage. We are reliving every compliment that we got earlier in the day, imagining our Vogue cover shoot, and planning a soft launch post with a maximum slay. Our brain at night is full glam, dramatic, and never boring.
Okay, if we didn't get to your sign, they're all posted on our website, johnjaneandrich.com. One of the things I did also when I was in Atlanta, when I told you I was at this, I don't know if you want to call it a retreat, a sauna retreat. Does that make sense what it was? There were 3 saunas there. There was a hot tub and a cold plunge and a swimming pool. And you would sauna for 20 minutes in this big sauna, right? And then you would go into the pool, jump in the pool, then you could cold plunge, hot tub, and then go back in the sauna. And they had a wood sauna, and then they had these 2 portable saunas that I thought were really, really interesting. So I was asking about those saunas. And those saunas are for sale. Like you can, like a lot of people, your saunas are catching on. Everyone wants a sauna. Right?
Portable sauna?
Portable.
Okay, so what's
it
that?
was
What is
really
that?
interesting. So like, it's like a tent. It's like a tent, but you have a hardwood floor. And then you have the rocks and the steam. So it's not like infrared sauna.
Okay.
It's like the old school, like.
Well, that's all the research anyway. Is all
Right, from these kind of saunas.
Yeah.
And so you can buy them. And I said, how long does it take to put in your house? And the guy goes, like 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes? So you can build a sauna in your backyard. So if you want, then it's All Day Sauna Company or All Day Sauna Co. All Day Sauna.
Did you get in one?
I got it. I got in one.
And it
Yeah.
works just the same?
Oh, man, it's really hot. Like my sauna is an infrared sauna, and that gets to 175 degrees.
That's hot.
These are a minimum of 200. Yeah, it was a whole different ball game. Let me tell you something. It's a whole different
You were
ball
in
game.
there for 20 minutes?
I was there all day. That's why it's called All Day Sauna. I was in there all day. It was such a fascinating thing. So then I'm telling my wife everything. You kind of brought this up a little bit ago. And my wife was like, you should do something like that at our house, because this guy Jesse did it at his house, right? He had people at his house.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you could teach a class on that.
Sounds like John Jay's nightmare.
it does. But I also thought, because he had 30 people there and he had 3 saunas. I have one sauna that fits 3 people, right? So I thought, wonder if I could do something like that. And I would have people, like, if I had, let's say, 5 people, you listen to the audience and you know, I have you come, and I put 3 people in the sauna, and I put someone in the cold plunge, someone in the hot tub, and then I kind of do my own version of that. But his was all day. I do maybe an hour.
Yeah, that's funny.
Right.
Because he sat around. He sat around he has a huge basketball court, and he sat around the basketball court and just did like a Q&A with people, right? Like, so if I was to literally copy that, and I do a Q&A with people,
Yeah.
what am I going to talk about? What are you going to ask
Like,
me?
what are you watching on TV?
It's like the live version of an Ask Me Anything on social.
It was really interesting if you're a fan of his name is Jesse Itzler, and I'm telling you, check it. If you don't know who he is, follow him, because you know there's all these motivational people, like even like Tony Robbins. Like, I don't want to put down Tony Robbins. I love Tony Robbins. You guys know I love Tony Robbins, right? But Tony Robbins shows you how to do stuff. This guy has done stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like Tony Robbins, all you know about him is he's always been a motivational speaker.
Right.
Like this guy started companies, sold companies. His wife started a company, sold a company. Like, you know what I mean? So it's more like, it's kind of like those people that like go to school their whole life and then they go teach school
Yeah.
on like but they never lived life. Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. What's your bet? You have no experience in this. Do you know what I mean?
Is his house killer?
Well, we weren't allowed in.
Oh,
The rule, you had to be, it was,
that would be like their place if you did. If
Come
you did
to
a thing
my
there.
home. Oh, no, not in my home.
well, he lives in Atlanta and he's got several homes around the country.
Okay.
And this is on 800 acres in the woods. So there was a couple of cabins, there were trails. Like,
Okay, he's living the billionaire life.
You would sauna, cold plunge, hot tub, sauna, cold plunge, hot tub. Then you have this lunch that was amazing. And then we went on a 4-mile hike. And then we went sauna, cold plunge.
So then you stay in one of the cabins, like, or are you sharing it with other people, or are you by yourself?
No, nobody went into the cabin. You were there for the day.
Oh, and then you go back to like your hotel.
I went to my hotel
Okay.
at the Holiday Inn, the one that looked like it was right in the middle of where there's probably 30 to 40 dead bodies in the woods right
Oh,
there.
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
You call the police, go, hey, found everybody.
Just go on.
Everybody that's missing, they're right here behind the
Go
hotel.
dig back there and you'll find. In fact, there was one time. So I'm still obsessed with my 10,000 steps, right? So when I get there on Wednesday night, I'm at like 6,000 steps, and I already went to Texas Roadhouse. And I walk in, when I get back to my hotel, I'm at a Holiday Inn Express, and I'm in the woods. Like it literally looks like the perfect place for serial killers to hide bodies. All right. And it's dark. It's like, now it's 10 o'clock at night, which is 7 o'clock our time. Right. So I'm still alive and feeling good, but I need to get my steps. So when I go to the counter, I don't want to walk around the hotel. So I was going to ask the person at the front desk, is there a gym here? But there's a woman in front of me, and a blonde woman. She's by herself, and I'm not paying attention to what she's asking the person at the counter. And the woman goes and starts to, she's wearing like spandex, whatever, like, leggings or whatever. And she walks, turns, and I go to the guy. I go, hey, is there a gym here? A fitness center? He goes, yeah, right down the hall. So I go, thanks. So I start to follow, and it turns out I'm right behind her. Okay, it's dark. It's a scary place. She goes, she's going to the gym too. And I'm right behind
Those guys
her.
following
At 10
me.
o'clock.
And I'm wearing I haven't changed clothes. Like I'm wearing pants and a shirt and shoes. Like I'm not dressed to work out, but I need to get my steps in. Like I do here. I figure I just get on a treadmill. It's a small gym. It's the size of Kyle's studio back there. Is how the whole gym. It's got some weights and it's got 2 treadmills. She gets on the treadmill. And I get on the treadmill next to her.
No.
Oh, that's the worst.
So
I'm dressed in normal clothes.
She's like this guy.
Yes. So I'm like, I go, hey. I go, hey. So I'm trying to get my steps in. And she's like, uh-huh. And then she puts her headphones in, right? I don't have headphones because I came from the restaurant. So I just start walking on the treadmill. And I'm walking. And then I'm like, I'm on a Whoop. So I'm trying to connect my Whoop to the phone, and I have to hit refresh. And it takes a long time for the Whoop to connect. So now I'm at 7,000 steps. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just go for 10 minutes. I should be able to get there. 10 minutes goes by, nothing.
That's not 2,000 steps.
Half an hour goes by, half an hour. But it's not connecting, so I don't know where I am. So I thought maybe I'll do a half hour. 45 minutes goes by. Now I'm sweating, right? And she's still on the treadmill. And I can tell she doesn't want to be on the treadmill anymore. And it just hits me that she is scared to get off the treadmill.
Because you're going to follow her.
Because I'm going to follow her. Like, it's me, the treadmill, and the window to outside, right? And the blinds are closed. And I'm just walking away, and I'm like, oh, my God. It hit me. I go, she's scared because she's like, I'm looking at her numbers because I want to see if I'm walking farther than her and I'm whatever, right? And I'm looking at her numbers, and I'm like, that's a weird... Like, she should have been done a long time ago. Right? I can look at her, and she's like, oh, there's this sicko next to me who's going to kill me. And I almost wanted to go, hey, do you watch Gone Girls? Gone Girl Long Island Murder?
Oh, gosh.
And it's like
What about these woods back here?
I was going to say you're in these wooden
Yes.
things, and that gives the man or the bear theory.
So
She's taking the bear.
Totally.
Yeah, 'cause
I hit refresh on my phone, and it connects. And I now have 10,041 steps. I'm like, thank God. I hit stop on the treadmill, and I get off, and she takes her headphone out, and she goes, have a great night. Like all energy, like,
Yeah, now she knows.
he's not going to kill me.
Yeah, she wants you to know that she knows what you look like. If
Right,
something were to go
right.
bad.
But I go back to my room, and I call my wife, and I go, hey, Blake, I think this lady thinks I was going to kill her. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, she's thinking, what's this guy doing working out at 10 p.m. in regular clothes right next to me?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I was...
And no, you basically followed her from the front desk.
Right. None of that was on purpose. Like when she started to walk and the guy goes just right around the corner, I was as close as you are to Kyle, so I'm walking behind you. That's uncomfortable.
Close.
Yeah, it's
And it's in a dark hallway in a Holiday Inn Express. John Jay and Rich, we're going to do some stacks and some hacks. Okay. In a new poll, 26% of people say it's been longer than a decade, 10 years, since they've written a handwritten letter. Anybody here? Handwritten letter? Anyone?
I write them all the time.
Thank yous. Yeah.
Look, okay, let's say different than a note. Like a letter.
I just wrote one with my daughter over the weekend.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Peyton?
I wrote them in college. I had a pen pal in prison that was helping me with...
You were in prison?
No, I had a pen pal in prison. And he was helping me with my senior capstone, so we wrote pretty often.
Yeah, well, then you guys aren't part of the 26%. A new poll also found 2% of people think they can outrun a horse in a 100-meter dash. 27% of people are confident they can outrun a crocodile.
Let's hope so.
A man in Canada is fighting this ridiculous parking ticket. I saw this in the news. It's so crazy. So the city added a bus stop in front of his house overnight. He was parked there when it wasn't a bus stop. Then they put a bus stop sign, and then they gave him a ticket.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, he was asleep. A man in New Hampshire walked into a Family Dollar on Saturday night, totally naked, only wearing a surgical mask. And he shouted, "Hey!" And then he ran out.
Okay.
Well, at least he's not getting sick. Got that mask on.
Cops are looking for him. A company is selling a stuffed animal called a Dino, which will snitch on all the things your kid tells it in confidence. It has built-in AI chatbot that records your kid's every word.
Whoa.
That's messed up.
Kind of messed up.
It is.
But also, as a parent, I would buy one.
A Colorado city is planning to limit residents' pet cats and dogs to 4 total. You can be grandfathered in if you already have more than that, but anyone who exceeds that number in the future will have their pets seized.
Oh my God.
Seized.
Sheesh.
Chinese restaurant Chicago will give you free appetizers for life if you get a tattoo of their logo on your body.
Oh, that's pretty strong.
Appetizers? I want free food no matter what, all the time.
Yeah. crab
Entrees
ragoon,
and
that's-
desserts.
And also, I got to make sure the restaurant's going to stay open. Like, what if they close down? What do you have for life hacks, Rich?
This is sort of a warning to you because we're doing a little play school here. We're going to do a little scenario. Peyton, you answer the phone, and I'm going to be a telemarketer, and then we will discover the hack together.
Okay.
So answer your phone.
Hello?
Oh, hi. How's it going? I'm just checking with the neighbors. Do you have an alarm currently?
Yeah.
A home alarm system that's working?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then you hang up the phone. That's
Yeah.
the answer. So whenever somebody asks you on the phone if you have a home alarm system, say yes, because they are casing your neighborhood to see if you have an alarm system.
Creepy.
Rude.
And if you say no, they're not going to sell you the alarm system. They're just going to come over to your house and rob your stuff.
Messed up.
So that's how the new break-in thing is checking to make sure. They don't even look now. Before they go to the address, they just call you up because they can get all the information and get information from you. Give nobody anything. That is your life hack. If you need more on that, it's at johnjanerich.com.
A couple comments on the text line about the couples podcast. Peyton dropped it yesterday, her and Kadeem. 928 number. I'm currently listening to the couples podcast from yesterday. Peyton and Kadeem's dynamic are so similar to mine and my husband's. I really relate to them. My husband is also an Aquarius. He and Kadeem are so much alike. It was really nice getting to know both of you on yesterday's episode. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Oh, that's sweet. I sent the podcast to like our families, and it was kind of fun to hear their responses too, because it's like Kadeem, and you get a little bit of him in the podcast, but like his personality shows out in little bits and pieces, which is really fun. But it was fun how they were able to dissect our personalities in the podcast. It was fun.
A 605 number. I think Kareem calms Peyton down. It was the most chill I've ever heard her be. Great podcast. Oh, and then they text again, Kadeem, LOL. Okay.
Yeah. He's definitely my Zen.
Yeah, so you go to wherever you hear podcasts, especially like the John Jane Rich On Demand podcast. That's where we drop it. We drop it every Sunday. This Sunday, is it you or me? It's me. Okay, it's Blake. Blake and I are going to do this Sunday's podcast.
Are you prepared?
You know, her and I got into a massive fight. Like we've had in our whole marriage a huge, like one big fight. I think I told you guys about it. It was something so stupid about leaving the Suns game early. We got into another one on Friday. It was totally different, and part of me wants to bring it up on the air here, but then I also want to bring it up on the podcast because it was so ridiculous. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm right the whole time. Like,
Of course
it's me.
you are.
Yeah.
You're always right, John Jay.
Anyway, so you can always text us. Text JJR, whatever you want to say, to 96893. Okay, youth sports. What's happening?
I'm like deep into the sports mom era of my day. And honestly, like, I love it. I like driving my kids to sports. I like sitting at their games. I like chatting with the other parents. I've made friends with the other parents. It's a social time for me, and my kids are having a great time. It's a win-win all around. But Easton's doing 2 sports this season. So he's doing flag football and he's doing baseball. So pretty much every night of the week, we're at some sort of sporting event, and there's one rotating day of the week where we've got nothing going on. And those nights are great, but then the other nights are great too. So I've noticed a vast difference in the baseball parents and the football parents. And it almost kind of explains, because I've told you before, like, Easton gets really emotional during football. Like, if someone almost intercepted a ball in the game on Friday night, that he was supposed to receive, he started crying. Like, he gets very competitive, and when things like don't work out, he gets really emotional. And
I'm
I've been
sure that
trying.
happens to Travis Kelce too.
Maybe
starts
back in the day,
crying.
I don't know. Maybe he had a like. I'm trying to find a way to channel those big feelings into like his superpower, but haven't like figured that out yet. But I almost feel like it's the parents' fault, because I've noticed like at the flag football games, those games are really exciting, and the parents cheer very intensely. Like, you're on one side of the field and you're rooting for one team, you're like, go! And then it's like, it's a lot of energy, and it's a lot of, I think, pressure for the kids. And the baseball parents are just so chill. Like, at the games, they're like, yeah, good job. And then they cheer good job for the other team too.
Right.
So if some kid messes up, it doesn't matter, because you're getting cheered from both parents. And I've noticed, like, in the baseball games, like, Easton does not get as emotional. And so I'm thinking, like, it's not
The crowd.
It's not him. It's the other parent.
No, I
Because
feel
if you
like
think
you're
about
right.
it,
Yeah.
so if the pass is if a pass for him gets intercepted, the parents on the other team are cheering,
Yes.
because essentially
Because their kid almost
he could
intercepted
look
a ball.
at it like it was his mistake.
Yeah.
But it's not his mistake.
No.
It's the quarterback's mistake.
Right. But it's been kind of like fascinating because I'm really trying to figure it out. Like, I hate seeing my kid cry, and I don't like seeing him upset, but I also want him to learn how to manage his feelings, because that's a big life skill that you have to learn. Like, you can't just have a meltdown every time things don't go your way. You just can't. So I'm like, maybe it's the surroundings. Like,
I think
and
you're
that's
totally
like something
right.
totally
Yeah.
out of my control. So I don't know how to help him there.
Yeah. That's tough. And I can totally see that as like a former athlete in the pressure, but also as a coach. It's like, I think sometimes, parents, they want their kid to be the best. And so you don't even realize what's coming out of your mouth half the time, and how that can affect another kid who's just trying to be better at things. So I think that's always a good reminder that it's youth sports.
Totally.
Let's chill.
Oh my gosh. I took a picture at the baseball field just the other day, and I have to post it because it was like, it's such a good reminder for everyone attending any youth sports game. If you have like a dog in the fight or a kid in the game or whatever, it says reminders from your child. I'm a kid. It's just a game. My coach is a volunteer. The officials are humans. No college scholarships will be handed out today.
Yeah, no, that's so real.
That's really good.
It's so real. But
You know,
people
another
are
thing-
dedicated to their youth sports
Oh,
too.
yeah,
so-
for sure. For
Another
sure.
thing, though, like if he followed in his dad's footsteps and just golfed, then you don't have to deal with
Well,
a
he
lot
totally
of that, right?
could, but he also gets very emotional in golf.
Oh, he does?
So again,
it's
that ruins
good.
my
How about
theory that
chess?
it's the parent.
It's good that he cares so much, though. That's really good.
Oh, it's so
Like,
funny
what, if he
because
misses a putt, he starts to cry?
he gets so frustrated, and it's so funny because, like, Scott's like, buddy, golf's the hardest game in sports. Like, it really is. It's so difficult. Even the pros have really bad days. And, like, Easton loves Scotty Scheffler. Who doesn't? And he's like, Scotty has bad days. Scotty has bad tournaments. And he's a professional that's been doing this his whole life. So, one day, if anyone has been there with their child and they know the way around this or the right way to go about this, let me know. But until then, I just like, he's trying all the things. He loves baseball right now. Like, I asked him what sport right now is he enjoying the most. And he plays golf with his dad, and he plays football, and he plays baseball. And he's like, it's baseball. We had practice last night. Practice was over, and the kids kept playing. They
that's
would not
great.
leave.
Oh, that's
That's
so
awesome.
fun. And they make
Not
bank
leave.
in baseball, so keep it up,
It's
Houston.
so competitive, though.
Hi, Sierra.
Hi. So I wanted to comment on Easton and being emotional. I have 3 kids. All of them play multiple sports. And I want to say that I don't necessarily think that it's what sport he plays, but the fact that he's a Gemini. I have a 7-year-old who is a Gemini, and she's very emotional when it comes to not getting her way. And that's kind of in all things in life, not just sports, but it's very hard to explain to her, like, you can't always have it your way. You're not going to win everything. And you kind of just have to, like, be happy for others when they win, even if you lose. So I want to say there may not be anything you can do about it.
No,
right now.
that was
That's
hopeful.
actually, I've thought that a couple of times, because I always describe Easton as like, if you get him and he's in a great mood, he's like, everyone loves him, but he's like the Hulk. When he's angry, you don't want to see him when he's angry.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally agree. My daughter is like the life of the party, like always like center of attention, but it's like a flip of a switch, and all of a sudden she's like the biggest grump in the world. Don't mess with her, and there's nothing you can do to change it. It's like you have to let her go through her emotions to get back to her happy self.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Maybe that's it. And, it's funny because I've become like friends with the other parents and stuff like that. We had 2 games Friday night, and afterwards it was like dinner time. And so naturally, me and the other moms, we kind of just like planned a dinner. We're like, hey, let's all go together.
Best part of you.
We're having like flashbacks.
I love those memories of being a kid.
I know.
Some of my favorite memories.
I like remember being on sports teams and my parents not going to the dinners, and I was like, I'll go to dinner.
Yeah.
So now I'm planning the dinners, and we're like, we get to the restaurant. There's this huge table. There's 4 couples, all of our kids, and everyone's having it. Like, I'm having a great time, starting to chat. 10 minutes into it, I look over at Scott, and he like had the most miserable look on his face. I was like, what's going on? And he's like, this is just too much. This is too much. There's too many people. It's too loud. It's like chaos right now. And he does not like he wants to go home and be alone.
Yeah.
I was like,
I love that guy.
I was just laughing. I was like, can you bring this guy a couple drinks? Because
He needs to get into the coaching, because I feel like his attitude towards that will change. He'll start to really love the kids, get to know the parents. I challenge him to
I've
that.
asked him to do that, and he's like, it's a 100% absolutely not.
Oh my gosh, you better change. He'll change his mind.
But I will say, he did have a couple of drinks, and then all of a sudden, he was chatty Cathy.
Yeah.
I was like, there we go.
John J. Rich, I saw this headline over the weekend, but I didn't click and get any details about Terrence Howard.
Yeah, so Diddy's criminal trial, it starts May 5th. Cassie's going to be there. She's testifying. It's like, I think it's going to be televised, so think Johnny Depp trial, because that's going to be the fascination with this one, probably times 10.
I was going to say, I think even bigger.
Yeah, and more celebrities have started to come forward and talk about their experiences with Diddy. And Terrence Howard says he had a really weird experience with Diddy. And he just explained, at first he didn't really understand, and then his assistant kind of helped him out.
Puffy invited me, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there, and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting, okay? So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication.
Just cut it off. Didn't want the weirdness anymore. Didn't want to have anything to do with it. And in that interview, Terrence Howard actually went on and on about how anyone who went to one of Diddy's freak-off parties lost their man card. They lost their morality. They lost everything they probably ever stood for.
Because they participated
Yeah.
in everything. So if you went to the party, you participated.
That's what he was saying.
And I keep seeing these things on Justin Bieber, and I thought he's okay. Then I see he's not okay, and he is okay. Does anybody know?
I know. I keep seeing the same things too. And the latest is basically that somebody, an insider apparently from Hailey Bieber's church, says Hailey has just kind of given it to God. She's asking everyone around to just pray for Justin because he's so manic. He's not eating. He's not sleeping, which doesn't happen with a newborn baby as it is, but also everything, the demons that he's dealing with in his brain. And supposedly Hailey has just asked everyone in their circle to pray for him because at this point, only God can save him.
My heart's breaking for Justin Bieber. I am such a believer through and through. I saw something. So you know how Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco just dropped their album together?
Yeah.
I guess in one of the songs, Selena Gomez says, if I would have picked up one time, or if I would have picked up that one phone call, this wouldn't be happening. And apparently, allegedly, Justin Bieber called Selena Gomez 20 times on his wedding day to Hailey Bieber. And so everyone's saying that he's actually spiraling because Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez are
Did you see
engaged right now.
the post he made from the Lord of the Rings?
No,
I
I
didn't
saw
see
his DM me if you want to make music.
Was it Gollum with the ring, that
Yeah.
monster?
Yeah.
He said something. He made a post. I'm going to paraphrase, but he posted that picture of the person holding the ring, the ugly monster,
Yeah.
and said something. I guess everyone's getting engaged.
Oh
or
my
something like
gosh,
that.
did he
Yeah.
really? Was that actually him?
Yeah, and they say that it was a dig at Benny Blanco.
Yeah, I guess
and
so.
Selena,
Well,
right?
because they used to be friends.
I know,
they
I know.
He literally.
But the balls, the people aren't going to put
Right.
two and two together with that one.
Well, of course they are. Yeah. So, okay. So he's got the Diddy stuff. He's got his ex living her best life and on top of the world, and
I bet
he's
you
dealing with a lot.
That Diddy stuff might be really at the surface right now.
I
for
think
him.
that's
of it.
really
The
what
core.
the core of it. Yeah, and then you have this 7-part series on his wife might be stalking him. He's going through it.
Also, anybody see Minecraft?
Yeah,
No, I
saw
didn't
it?
see it.
I didn't see it.
Oh,
I saw how crazy it was, though.
It was like
I have-
$157 million at the box
I
office.
have
It's crazy.
3
I
boys.
forgot that it was coming out.
Me too.
I have 3 boys: Jake, who's 22, Kemp, who's 21, and Dutch, who's 18. All 3 of them saw it. All 3 of them loved it.
I heard it was fantastic.
They said it was absolutely fantastic. It's on track to be the biggest game show or video game movie ever made.
Did
Oh
you
my
see
gosh,
all
bigger
the
than Super Mario Bros.
Bigger than Super Mario Bros.
Did you guys see all the kids getting arrested though? Because I guess there's this one scene in the Minecraft movie where there's like some big battle or boxing ring, and all of these kids who are going to see it are throwing all their stuff everywhere, and movie theaters are arresting the kids.
And there's an after.
No, don't do that.
There's an after credit scene like Avengers movies that, oh my God, everybody went up. And I'm like, I said to my kids, just tell me the after credit scene. I don't want, and they told me, and I was like, oh, okay, I can see this.
I want
So
to go
they'll-
see it.
they'll
I'm
be-
going to take my kids to go see
Do
it.
your kids play Minecraft?
Yeah.
Oh, they do? Oh,
yeah,
good.
they're like
gonna-
in the total Minecraft.
So one of my boys went with a bunch of friends. Some of the friends don't play Minecraft. They didn't get it. If you're a Minecrafter, you are all over this movie.
Okay, so I won't get it, but my kids will.
Yeah, but watching them enjoy it, they said Jack Black, they said freaking Jason Momoa is just absolutely fantastic. And the McDonald's has got the Happy Meals.
Yeah, the
my
Minecraft
kids,
Happy Meal.
22, 21, and 18, and they all got the Happy
Oh,
Meals.
that's what that was.
It's funny because I randomly was over at John Jay's house yesterday.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We went to this Team Taylor walk,
Right.
and I had to park at his house because it's close to where the walk is. And I walk in, I'm like, that's like the hugest Happy Meal box ever. He's like, it's the Minecraft one.
My boy Christopher saw it twice this weekend. That's how much he loved it. So
Wow.
it's going to be huge.
That's
I mean,
cool.
it is huge.